Hey everyone, Squee913 here with his dad. My dad. Why would I talk in myself in the third person? With my dad.
Because you're a Khajiit?
This one's father says hello. Yeah. Say hi, Dad.
Hello?
And we are going to Let's Play Roma Surrectum 2.
Konnichiwa.
I will say that even though this is a Let's Play, I considering the difficulty it is for us to get together and do these things, I will not promise that we will be able to finish it. I will promise that we will go as far as we can. So, you know, just as long as we get that out of the way first.
He is still a rambunctious troubledoer, but no, he did not massacre his stepmom with goblins. She's meaner than goblins, and she's still with me, and absolutely wonderful.
I'm a kind person. All right. My father has never played Roma Surrectum 2. I have played it some, but this will be a learning process for both of us. And let's go ahead and just get right into it, shall we? First things first. When we choose a faction, I'll have to pop out real quick and change some preferences. But let's choose a faction first. All right. This is, of course, set around 500. Set in 536 AUC. AD, CE, however you want to say it. We have tons of factions here. Do you want me just to kind of go down the list? Do you have an idea of what you kind of want to play, or?
First, Squee, I wanted to mention that they have pointed out correctly that we sound so similar. It could possibly be that there's some slight similarity in genetics. Gee, wonder how that happened. Anyway,
lies!
I can either do random accents or go off in various different languages, but I don't think different languages would work too well.
You are more than welcome to try different accents. However, the only thing I would request is that the accent does not come at the cost of speed during a battle or something. In other words, if we're in the middle of something difficult, just talk.
Not a problem. In a battle, I only have one accent.
Victory.
Get off your arse.
I'm not sure victory is an accent, but
cal.
in battle I only have one accent. Victory. Justice. All right.
Love the smell of gasoline in the morning. Smells like.
Okay. Now, what kind of faction because we have everything. We have Rome, we have Celtic factions, we have Greek factions, we have Macedon, we have Sparta, we have Carthage, we have Persian Empire, we have you name it, we got it. Any idea where you kind of want to start? And I can click on the faction and give you kind of the summary for it.
You have one vote for British. I don't see anything else. It's Sparta.
Oh no! I'm talking to you, Dad.
Well, you know, if it's anything that's Celtic, I'm highly familiar.
Okay.
Anything else, I am somewhat familiar. Actually, I'm familiar with most of these.
All right, I will. How about I go with some of the Celtics, and then we'll kind of go from there. Which one you like? There's the Belgae. We are the Belgae. Our proud name means the furious ones. This is and will always be our notorious name in the ancient Celtic language. There is no doubt we consist of a great race of men, many of us hailing from...
You can tell they're Celts already. They're busy bragging on themselves.
Yeah. Let's see. The force of Germania, now living in relative stability and brotherhood. We call Gaul's northern reaches our home. If you can see right here,
Just,
like there's a
just
little...
so you know, Squee and I are both Celts, so I'm allowed to talk bad about them. It's us.
Mm-hmm. Except even if Hagune doesn't quite understand it. But you're only partly...
the whole point is to impress your enemy so much that they get nervous and shaking so bad they miss.
All right. They start... Northern Gaul, they have, looks like one territory in Great Britain's area, in the British Isles. Let's see, I'm trying to think. And then it just kind of goes into what you'd want to do. It doesn't really say much about them other than they are very Celtic. Let's see, what else we got? We have the Boy. I'm not sure they're really Celtic.
Okay, look, that's Norse.
BOI, yeah, that looked more Norse. I agree. Let's see. What else we have? All right,
upper left.
Upper left.
Upper left. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. You were on Britons at some point.
You mean this one?
No, that's Belgay, I believe.
Well, there is no
Isn't it?
Britain faction actually. Belgae is
All
the
right.
closest you'll get
I
to it. There's
misread.
there's
Belgay is fine.
all right, hang on. There's one more in this area. Where is it? Brian, where are you? No.
Scythians have nice horse archers.
There's one that was pretty much right here, right here. The Arverini. They're kind of Gauls, and I'm not sure if they're Celts though. Let's just go with the Celts. The ones we know are Celts.
They're France. It's definitely Celts.
All right.
Yeah, but Belgay's good.
All right. We will do battle will be on very hard. Campaign will be on medium. Very hard is good, especially since there's two of us. It will give us a decent challenge, but it won't overwhelm us. I can promise you that.
You've been playing this before, then I take it.
Yeah. Well, that and the thing is that computer AI has yet to match up with human AI, and what the very hard difficulty does, it kind of increases morale and stuff, so that it makes it. It kind of tries to make up for a lack of intelligence through making people harder to route and stuff. You can still route them, and you'll see. But yeah, and I'm keeping campaign difficulty on medium, only because if you start going above medium, the AI starts to become unrealistic. You know, like declare war for no reason, that kind of stuff. Alright, no battle time limit, follow AI characters. Do you care about follow AI characters? It basically shows you the moves of anyone that you can see when you are not moving. Manage all settlements.
Actually, there were Vikings in France. That's who the Normans were, who basically conquered Britain and brought French into Britain. They were a combination of bunch of Vikings living in the middle of Celtic lands, so they were kind of a blend of the two.
By the way, if anyone ever wondered why I got into history in the first place, that would be his fault.
Yeah, they talk about that at work as well. Occasionally, they were asking about Native Americans, something in Canada, and I started telling them about the last show we watched the evening before about Tecumseh and how he managed to conquer Detroit by being clever and making the Americans think there were a lot more Indians than there were.
Alright, so we're gonna start. Eventually, when the game decides to do something. There we go. Thou hast departed, and hast settled in a chill and frosty region. Soften thy hard pride, change thy coldness to gentility. Be my subject, and come and live a life of ease in my domain. Thou shalt find pleasure. Strabo. Who is someone famous from some time somewhere.
Yeah, he wrote a lot. There weren't that many people that wrote a lot then.
Yeah.
And got published. They had to spend a lot of money to get published.
Okay. So, here we go. I know the basics of this game, and I'm fairly good with the combat and all that. However, units and stuff like that, I will be... Oh! You know what I need to do? Hang on a second, guys. I need to... I'll be right back. Alright, apparently it didn't, wait, what?
We were mostly talking anyway.
There we go. It didn't, yeah, it didn't record what we were doing, but to give you guys a quick recap, we've decided we're going to try and take Great Britain first to have a nice place to fall back to, a nice seat of power, so to speak. We are getting ready. We're making a spy up here to start deciding who to hit. We have this giant stack up there. We're moving more units up to go meet them, and then we're going to be basically holding the line here. Oh, here, one of these places, we need to make a diplomat. Probably turn after next. Make a diplomat so that we can look for
confuse people.
Yeah, or at least
and
make them...
possibly even bring in allies.
And
convince them that we can make money easy up in Britain, and they'll come help us.
And I'm putting the taxation to very high because their happiness is fantastic, so we can afford the hit to the happiness for the extra money. Even at very high, they still have like 200% happiness. As long as we don't go below 100, we should be fine. Let's see, maybe we can build a building here. Wise Men's Cabin, large complex, coral glass. Maybe the coral glass. That's very cheap, and it'll give us a small income to our bonus income. You want to do that, or?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Anything.
Good trade, good.
And this, let's do... We could actually build this defensive wall stockade. It would take all the money this turn, but we could do it. We won't have any money until next turn.
Does this city not have any kind of defensive wall?
It has... What does it have? It has a wooden palisade, which is not that good. It's basically like a row of spiked logs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on, let me see. Take a look at financial projected profits. We should be fine. Let's go ahead and build that next turn. We should have plenty of money because we have everyone on high taxation. So we'll do that. And then, do you want to go...
What about the city on the far left, or where that boat's leaving? No, not that far.
No, that's just a port.
Within our land.
That's our port.
It's just a port.
Yeah.
How heavily do we need to defend the port?
You can't attack ports. You would just attack the city. Basically,
right.
Attacking the city gives you the whole region. Now, people can blockade ports, but that's a naval thing. We don't really deal with that on land forces.
Answer my question.
One more question. Do we want to start moving up with this units, or do we want to wait for the spy to tell us what we're up against?
Well, I would go ahead and... Oh, those units.
Mm-hmm.
How soon will we have a spy?
Next turn.
Do you get any information if you move up close to the border?
Oh, yeah. I mean, your army... Basically, our army can do the same thing a spy does, just they have less range and other armies will see them.
Well, why don't you move up to a location that we're not really expecting to attack, and then we'll go over and attack something else to confuse them. Which area do we actually control? Is it the area that's shown in green, or what?
No, the area shown in green is where they can move. Our area of control is basically like right here, this little section.
Okay.
I'm basically going to move out everything other than the light spearmen. I'll keep those 2 light spearmen back, just to hold down the fort. And
so you can move it to like the upper left. You should see some information in all directions, straight north.
Yeah, sure. Like move it up here. Well,
however far you can to look, but you might check out the people over to your far right.
I was thinking, yeah, because if we're going to attack, they're probably going to be our first.
Reason?
Yeah, they'll probably be our first target. In fact, we could go right here, which would let us see them, and if they tried to attack us, they'd have to attack over a river.
Good choice. I like that a lot. And
that.
We have plausible deniability that we were actually doing anything aggressive.
Right.
We were just scouting out our land.
Wow, that is...
And forget controlling the world with zombies. They're totally undisciplined as troops go.
Did someone suggest
Incredibly stupid. Yes, they did.
But they do have numbers.
Yes, they have numbers.
All
they
right.
reproduce very nicely. Pecking order is automatic with most cultures, including this one.
Oh, no, he's talking about something from the Dragon Ball Z Bridge cartoon I was telling you about. They have a nice force. Now, they have no defensive wall, which is going to be great for us, but they still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 units, most of them of unknown make or design. We might be able to take that, but we basically
not
have
across the river. Make sure you cross some of their location if we're going to do that.
Well, and we have less troops than they do. I would probably suggest waiting until we get those reinforcements from down here.
Absolutely.
So I think we're going to end
Don't
the
want
turn.
to waste.
Oh, we could. Oh, we can't. I was gonna say we could build a. Oh, that's what we need to do next turn. Build watchtowers. Watchtowers basically, you build like a watchtower here, and you'll always be able to see what's coming. You can also build forts, which will allow you to, it's like a makeshift defensive structure.
Understood.
And of course, we can also recruit mercenaries if we need them, but we don't have money right now. So let's end the turn. And for people watching, it'll run slower than normal these first couple of turns as we all figure out what's going on and what we're doing. But, anyone who watches Total War should be used to this kind of pace. Alright, so end of turn report. We made about almost 5,000 denarii, so we're doing okay there. We built the coral glass and the blacksmith. We recruited the spy, the light spearman, and the ship, so we need to get that up there. I would suggest that before we do anything else, we start making some watchtowers. Don't really need one up here, but definitely maybe down there in the lower part. Let's take the spy. We already... You want to send the spy to this town so that we know exactly what we're up against?
Yes.
All right.
They're too close to be a problem to be ignored.
So we'll send the spy there, and that should tell us... Okay, we know now. We know exactly what we're up against. We have some noble cavalry, which is decent cav. I'd say medium cav right there. They have some heavy chariots, which are great for attack, horrible for defense, and they would not be great inside a city either. Another chariot, which is basically just like a lower version. Some swordsmen who looks like they have some javelins they can throw. They look like light infantry to me, with a decent defense, actually. These are spearmen. They're going to be fairly heavy infantry right there. They've got 4 of them. They have a skirmisher, a slinger, another a peltist. Looks like another slinger, has some javelins. Another slinger, and their general. So, a decent mix of moderate to good units. So, definitely we want to try and wait. Now that we know what they have, we can send the spy up north, or... Yeah, I don't really see a reason to. I don't see much of a reason to. Let's see, we have 2 towns. We have this town right here, and this one over here.
We can, however, at some point build a watchtower to keep track of those people and ignore them until we have a stronger force to attack them.
Oh, well...
Look for something easy to hit.
Well, you want to build a watchtower and then retreat the army so that we're not antagonizing them? Sounds like a plan. All right, for the spy, however, we can move them up to this town, the town on the right, the town on the left, maybe try and do in between the two.
Right.
Let's do this. Oh, yeah, this will give us information on... In fact, let me try and move them a little bit more this way. Yeah, it gives us information on both of them. This town's actually not that hard of a target. This one is. So I say let's just keep the spy there for now. Only generals can build watchtowers, so spies can't do that. But he can build a watchtower... What? Oh,
it's almost as much as a fort.
It's in enemy territory, so I have to get back to my own territory before I can build it. I can build it like right here.
Forward, waiting to ambush.
Let's build up.
It looks like your territory comes closer than that, doesn't it?
No, it's a little hard to see. Oh, good. It'll still give us sight. It's this green line right here.
All right.
And
understood.
The tower still gives us a view of them, so we can move these guys back to the town, or what do we want to do?
If there's an easy target up north, you might move them up toward the spy.
There is actually. Let's move this spy a little closer and see how easy a target.
Moving.
Let's see. Couple of
It's
calves.
pretty light.
Yeah.
Neutral army details.
Moving into position.
It's not ideal to have a place separate from the other one, but you can get money out of it probably, and
right.
then close in from both directions on the people that are bigger.
All right, then let's move them up
The
here,
reinforcements show up.
and maybe next turn we'll take them out, and have ourselves a nice little property. Okay, these guys.
Then when the reinforcements show up, you can attack from both sides against them.
That is true. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and land them down here somewhere? Well, let's land them over here so it doesn't look like we're antagonizing them.
That's a good idea. Plus, you want to come across that river somewhere far from the city.
Right. And then the ship will just leave there. Okay. We also need to worry about recruiting some more men up there. I mean, this guy is going to be hard to take. This guy is going to be hard to take. We should assume other people are going to be similar. So we're going to need to start recruiting down there. Here, however, let's make us a diplomat. See if we can't get some trade going and stuff like that.
Right.
You can't make a diplomat. Why can't you make a diplomat? I don't have enough denarii to make a diplomat. Okay, then. I'll have to wait till next turn to make a diplomat, I suppose. Roads. Honestly, I don't know. What do you think? I was thinking maybe we should be waiting to build a bunch of stuff down here while we concentrate on our military campaign. Normally how I play this is if I'm in the middle of a military campaign, I'm not generally improving my economy too much because it makes more sense, at least historically, that you increase your economy in times of peace and you concentrate on war in times of war.
Right.
But it's up to you.
Depends on how expensive troops are in that time period.
Very
Are you
expensive.
using a lot of mercenaries, or how are you operating?
I prefer not to use mercenaries because they're incredibly expensive. I would actually prefer to build units here and use our money on
They
that.
also tend to be unreliable.
That is, well, in this game they're not incredibly unreliable, but they are darn expensive. Well, actually, that's not. I'm not sure about that. I've never actually run out of money to pay them, so.
Yep.
I would suggest maybe
That's
some.
what makes them reliable.
I'm actually thinking maybe some peltists, because it's nice to have peltists and we don't have many. I mean, some slingers. Slingers are fairly powerful in this game.
Definitely want balance. The peltasts aren't bad, but they're shorter range, I think, than the slingers. And historically, the slingers were thought to be better against heavy armor, and the peltasts and archers against light armor.
Mm-hmm.
I faced nuke repeatedly, not in this game.
Oh, no, I think they're face-palming something that someone did.
Yep.
What's wrong, people? What are we doing wrong? Or maybe they're talking about someone in the chat.
Probably.
I should point out to everyone in the stream and everyone who leaves comments below, while we do appreciate comments on, how you guys are enjoying stuff, typically we prefer to devise strategies on our own. So, well, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Generally, when I'm playing a game like this, I enjoy talking with people, but and I don't even mind people displaying like strategies. I did this or that, but I take great joy in figuring out the problems on my own, not running to like. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. If I let them, people would tell me exactly how to solve the problems in this game, and I prefer to try and figure it out on my own. And I assume you're the same.
Yeah,
way.
the problem would be that they may have actually played the game so much that they that there's no thought process involved, because some of your observers may be supreme experts on the game, and therefore it's not an interesting thing to watch. If, however, they're just throwing ideas out there when we're not really busy, if we happen to notice them, that's fine. We can look at it. But you and I have played quite a few games. You've played more of them than I have, and I've made more than a few.
That is
So
true.
I think we can manage.
All right.
But comments are welcome.
I'm thinking of not building anything else, kind of saving our money this turn so that we have enough money next turn to buy a diplomat. But it's up
That's
to
a
you.
good plan. No, we need the diplomat.
All right, then we shall end our turn.
It can be more devious and dangerous than a stone wall.
I'm curious, though. Should we play this like Celts, though? I mean, Celts used diplomats, of course, but they were incredibly warlike back then.
They were very warlike, however, they used druids constantly as diplomats, and bards as lots of things, including spies.
Let's see. A suitable husband. Young, Celtic, opportunist, honest, shy, defender. He's a fine warrior, a suitable match for one of your daughters. Basically, this would give us a free general unit. However, the problem is he's not that great. He has 1 in management, but he has nothing in command, nothing in influence. I would say no.
Because he's only 16.
Yep. So I would say no and hold out for better prospects.
Well, wait. Maybe he'll get better.
Alright, let's see. End of turn report. We got 7,800, so we have enough for our diplomat. Woohoo! Greek logic. The theories of Plato and Aristotle have been synthesized into a new system of thought called logic, a philosophy concerned with the principle of reasoning and arguments. As a tool of rational thought, logic allows philosophers to discuss and test ideas with new and revolutionary thought. You know, thoroughness. I'm trying to figure out how this affects the game. I don't remember. I don't know if it does affect the game. Could just be a fun little...
Generally not for Celts.
We built the stockade. Yeah, I know.
They really did develop some incredibly high technology, and they did do a lot of philosophy and metaphysics and things of that nature through the Druids. The Druids would find it extremely interesting, actually, but the warrior class would probably not pay much attention to it.
All right, let's make a diplomat, and that goes all our money.
Going back to zombie armies again. Zombie armies are just too undisciplined. But you have a point. They don't need foodstuffs. They manage to provide their own food, more or less.
All right.
Except sometimes by killing your own armies.
So I built the diplomat, and I built another slinger unit. I'm going to go ahead and attach this slinger unit to this army. However, I don't think this army is moving this turn because we're about to take these guys.
Orders?
Well, with any luck, we can take this army and then the other army. But shall we enter our first fray?
Certainly.
Attack!
2 lots of magic mushrooms and charge right in.
Once more into the breach.
Winning a battle isn't just about troop
Oh,
numbers.
shut it.
The balance of...
I don't need your help. All right. The balance is in our favor. However, we are fighting...
people. Aren't we mean?
We are fighting...
Numbers look right.
Yeah. Well, we're fighting both. I was hoping maybe we could just fight one of them, but we got this. Especially if we can crush one and then deal with the other before they get there. All right, so let's fight. Oh, here we go. We can auto-resolve. We can fight. We're going to fight, obviously. They plunder, they slaughter, and they steal. This they falsely name empire. Where they make a wasteland, they call it peace. Okay. I think that man's beard grew up into his nose. Oh, shaders.
Today is a good day to die. Today is a great day to meet the gods. So let us send the enemy screaming to meet their gods today.
We have a nice little speech from our leader.
Look at them. Look and remember. Every one of them fears you. Fear gnaws at their gizzards. Fear eats their hearts. Fear of me. Fear of you. Now fight!
Apparently fear is gnawing on their gizzards. Alright, it's snowing a little bit. Are you fine with that weather? We can wait for better weather, or we can attack now.
Why is weather any more of a problem to us than to them?
Do
we have a lot of cavalry or something that archers?
No,
weather would be a problem to?
Yeah, no. Generally, it's if you have lots of archers, it could be a problem, but we don't. So I'm all for it going now. All right, so now we start our deployment phase. Let's take a look at our map.
Fight the enemy where they are not. So hit the small army first if you can.
Well,
it doesn't look like that's the situation.
We're not quite sure where the small army is going to start up, but I would assume they're going to start up over here somewhere. My guess would be they're going to try and go for a hill. Try and cover a hilltop. They have higher ground up there.
To start out a battle by sending a bunch of screaming, bloody, injured people running for their lives through the middle of the rest of the army. That tends to set the mood.
Well, my advice would be to start over here on the higher ground, because my thinking is they're going to try and aim for that high hill over there, and we want to try and cut them off before they can get there. I'm trying to remember exactly what the
combat controls. Can you back out to where I can see the train?
Kind of. This is the best I can do. You can look at the mini map here, but it's hard
You're
to
on
see
a
through.
hill that's partly forested, and they're moving to the next hill that is
Right.
heavily
They're going to
forested.
be, my guess is they're going to be aiming for this hill right here, because this is a pretty high hill. We
Okay,
are limited by this starting boundary, but so the closest we
that's
can get
fine.
to is right here, but this will be much
I
better
agree.
than trying to attack from down there.
Yes, I agree.
Hey Piff, hey Inferno, how's it going, guys? Alright. Normal battle line, you want heavy in front, maybe slingers behind them and cav in back, or...
Yeah, just don't put the slingers out in a bad situation. Though I doubt they're going to counterattack. Since we have nothing on the right flank, I'd put the cavalry on the far right flank
Okay, makes sense.
and swing them in,
Let's get you
and
guys
then
down.
try to put the slingers in between two infantry units so that they don't get caught by themselves.
I was actually going to put the... Do we have any slinger units? We have an archer unit. I was going to put them, like, staggered right behind, like right here.
That's fine. I wasn't sure with this style if they can shoot over.
I'm going to put a light...
Some archers can't fire over units; they just can't figure it
Oh
out.
yeah, archers
right
and
now.
peltists can. I'm putting a light swordsman on this flank over here. What is this? This is... Oh, this is another missile unit.
Good.
I'm going to put the peltists on this flank over here. Hey. Yeah, well, that'll work. Is there anyone I'm missing right now? Let's see. This is everyone but
Those are sheep with
you.
flaming wool. That's not a bad idea, but I don't think we have that option.
I'm putting another the light infantry kind of back here for reserve, kind of send them where we need them. And let's get the cav over here.
Sun Tzu did talk about sending a herd of cattle with burning pitch torches tied to their tails through the middle of an enemy force. We don't happen to have any cattle here, and the enemy's not heavily concentrated in the city, so it's not going to work well.
Alright, the general, he takes some space to set up because he's a bunch of chariots, so I'll put the two calves over here. Okay. Not the best setup, but good enough. Let's see what they're doing.
If you can't swing around both
The
right
enemy have
and
brought
left
more
flanks,
weaklings
then
to
it's best to
reinforce their
swing
line.
hard on one flank. And if we've got a flank that is not as heavily deployed, that would be the one I would hit, which is why I suggested going out the right flank.
Hey. Oh, I can't control that in the middle of a fight. Oh, there we go. Okay. I don't like having to restrict the camera. Just so everyone knows, if you haven't seen me play Total War before, I pause frequently, so... There's some people who play this game without ever pausing, and kudos to your skill, but I have none of that. So, okay, so we have two groups. We have a small group here, and a large group trying to come up from behind to reinforce them. Obviously, we need to try and finish one off before the other gets there. Should not be that hard. My guess is they're going to try and aim for that hilltop, so I'm guessing we just cut right over and try and cut them off. In fact, if we can rush everyone just straight over, we might even be able to get the high ground ourselves.
Good plan.
So,
Cavalry ought to get there in time.